Ay, good morning po sa inyo sir at aming mga kaklase. At kami po ang grupo na MAKA po at aming ipepresenta ang Republic Act number 9512 o ang National Environmental Awareness and Education Act. Ngayon po ay tatalakayin ko po ang deklarasyon ng polisiya. Sa taong in the year 2008, Republic Act 9512 was made into law, which was signed by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Nadeklara ang polisiya sa tatlong mga states. Ang una naman ay ang right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. Ibig sabihin po nito, yung karapatan po ng tao na makakuha ng masustansyang environment po sa kanilang titirhan. Ang pangalawa naman po ay ang vital role of the youth in nation building, yung kahalagaan po ng kabataan sa pagpapagawa o pagpapalaganap ng ating bansa. At ang pangatlo naman ay ang role of education to foster patriotism and nationalism, accelerate social progress, and promote total human liberation and development. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, ang role ng education po natin ay para magkaroon ng patriotic at nationalistic ng ating mga Pilipino at ma-accelerate din ang kanilang pagsosyalidad sa ating mga kababayan. At ang state ng Republic Act ay the state shall promote national awareness on the role of natural resources in economic growth and the importance of environmental conservation and ecological balance towards sustained national development. Ang ibig sabihin po ng state nito ay yung Republic Act po ay nagpo-promote po ng national awareness sa pamamagitan ng pagka-aware ng mga tao sa ating environment kung paano po natin 'to mapapaayos o mapapalaganap pa sa ating mga kababayan at kung paano natin mako-conserve ang ating mga national resources. Ang susunod naman po ay ang scope of the policy po.
What is scope environmental education? The foremost goal of environmental education is to provide knowledge about the principles that must be followed in order to conserve and utilize natural resources for the survival of humanity. Environmental education provides necessary knowledge and experience to recognize the importance of it. First, we have Department of Education. Next slide, please. Department of Education curriculum framework for science and secondary education or in high school is inclined towards developing scientifically, technologically, and environmentally literate and productive members of the society. Second, we have Commission on Higher Education, also known as CHED. Environment education is mandated to be included in tertiary education and vocational courses with at least curriculum of 2 years. TESTA. This is a part of National Service Training Program, or NSTP, under its Civic Welfare Training Service, or CWATS. Next, we have DENR. The Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, or DENR, shall have the primary responsibilities of informing all agencies concerned updates about the environment. The Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, is mandated to create programs to ensure the students receive science-based quality information on the environment and provide assistance for the development of environment-friendly solutions. Next slide will be tackled by Marky L.
The DepEd, CHED, TESDA, and DNR DOSP shall lead in the implementation of public education and awareness programs, environmental protection and conservation through collaborative interagency and multi-sectoral effort at all levels. These government agencies are tasked to ensure that information about the environment is disseminated to the students and community. We should be taught about the environment. Environmental education must be taught at all levels. This includes barangay, daycare, preschool, non-formal, technical vocational, professional level, indigenous learning, and out-of-school youth courses or programs, whether public or private. Scope of environmental education. The first one is environmental concept and principles. Second one is environmental laws. Third one is state of the local and international environmental. The fourth one is local local environmental best practices. And the next one is environment degradation threats to humans. The fifth one is citizens' role towards the environment and natural resources. And the last one is environment in the context of sustainable development. The next slide is tree planting, waste and minimization and segregation, recycling and composting, fresh water and conservation, and forest conservation.
So here are some examples of environmental conservation organizations in the Philippines that are working for the conservation and protection of our environment, including Earth's natural resources and especially its biological diversity or biodiversity. First, we have the WWF, or the Worldwide Fund for Nature, which is a non-government organization founded in 1961 that works in the field of wilderness preservation and organization and the reduction of human impact on the environment. Their mission is to stop degradation of Earth's natural environment and to build a future in which humans live in harmony with the nature. We also have here the Oceana, which is a non-profit ocean conservation organization focused on influencing specific policy decisions on the national level to preserve and restore the world's ocean. Next, we have the Climate Reality Project. They are a non-profit organization that spreads reality of the climate crisis our world faces. We also have the Greenpeace, which has a branch here in the Philippines as well. It is a non-government global organization campaigning on pressing environment issues concerning our climate, oceans, plastic, food, energy, livable series, as well as social justice. Next, we have the Green Education Philippines, which is the youth form of DENR and its mandate for the environmental education. They aspire to empower Filipino youth through environmental education and green networking. The other one is Laksang Buhay Initiative PH, which is an online youth-led advocacy focuses on biodiversity, conservation, and education through using the Filipino language, spread awareness for biodiversity. Capacity building. The DepEd, CHED, and TESDA, in coordination with the DNR and other relevant agencies, shall undertake capacity building programs nationwide, such as trainings, seminars, workshops on environmental education, development and production of environmental education materials, and teacher education courses and related livelihood programs.
Probably we are all aware of what the 3Rs, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. But little did we know that there is such practice or lifestyle called the 7 3Rs, or sustainability, which primarily deals with better green and environmental loving practices in our daily lives. Let, let's talk about each of it. The first one is rethink. Our choices are given by our needs and wants. But as a responsible citizen that care for the environment, we must first rethink if what we are going to buy or do is going to harm or benefit our environment. We remember that when we harm environment, we are also doing our self-harm directly or indirectly. For example, our excessive use of plastic, which can cause pollution that leads to flooding in our street, or even harming marine animals. The next is to refuse. Refuse. What we don't need, we should refuse. It is being aware that are not going to need something more than once, such as single-use plastic, take disposable bottle. There is a saying that for those who can't refuse, I for those who can't reuse, refuse. Next is reduce. Reduce. When we reduce our wants and only focus what we are need, it benefits our environment as we produce less waste or reduce carbon footprint by simply walking or riding a bike rather than using a car. Next is to repurpose. Repurpose. As we all know, it can get to the point that we cannot really avoid using plastic like containers in food and beverages. The thing here is we should be mindful when we when we finish using the product. The question here is where will it end? And to simply answer that it is go to the landscape that are really polluted with trash, but it doesn't stop there. Next is to reuse. A lot of us think we reuse when we many reusable such as eco bag, reusable tumbler, reusable food container. The question is, are we really using them enough or it just has become collectible? Next is to recycle. Recycle. Always check with your council or local recycling facility different have different policies. Within with when it comes to what can be recycled, recycling centers will refuse a load of contaminated with non-recyclable item. Recycling is important for the environment. It creates new item with material already in circulation, preventing the disruption of land and habitats, reducing air and water pollution and greenhouse gases, all to gain new raw material. New product with recycled material require less energy. And the last one is rot. Compose or use your council food waste scheme. Food does not decompose in the landfill. Instead, it create methane, that the most harmful greenhouse gas. If you can compose at home, use it in your own garden or give it to friend and family.
Environmental celebration. Declaration of Environmental Awareness Month. Pursuant to the policies set forth in this act, the month of November of every year shall be known as the Environmental Awareness Month throughout the Philippines. The next is Earth Day is every April 22. And the last Earth Hour is every last Saturday of month. Thank you.